Ahoy listeners, welcome to the Yonko Podcast with me, Alex Chuan, and our crew, Burke and Brock. Chapter 1031. Apoo gets denied harder than when Ace tried to make Whitebeard king. Big Mom is still a big pain in kid-in-law's cooperative asses, duh! And Sanji might have done something irredeemable, and thus may be looking at his final fight in the series. Do I believe that? No! But who really knows with Oda? All this and so much more on today's episode of the Yonko Podcast. Let's jump right in, let's set sail. Welcome to One Piece, Chapter 1031, with our Vice Captain, Boyos. There's a woman on this coach.
Oda, get some diversity. Leave Oda alone.
And there's only one black man.
We assume.
I'm assuming, Katie's actually probably black. But anyway,
That's what I mean.
Chapter 1031 brings us into some fun stuff.
Why did this start this way?
I don't know. I guess I was still... Chapter 1031, The Soldier of Science, brings us to the live floor, we think. A bunch of nublets. What are they called? Fodder. A bunch of fodder looking on.
Nublets?
Where did that come? I would like people at home to know we're all in a very weird mindset this evening, and it has really nothing to do with the chapter.
She got crushed by the steel beams. Not even Big Mom could survive that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, buddy. Alright,
Sure, Jam. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, Ken. Okay, let me play Law for a second.
That was my kid.
Perfect.
You can voice him after that.
Take that, you giant hag. Do you want to play Law too?
I thought I was doing villains, but okay.
Oh, sure, no, I got you. So your magnetic fruit's awakened power allows you to assign fields of attraction? How long does it last? Why the hell would I tell you? Okay. Okay. Huh?
Do you want to restart?
No. We're panting in such a sensual way.
We really are.
As
one of the steel girders from the pile that Big Mom was in comes flying out.
It's a girthy girder.
Girthy. Go to horny jail.
What?
As the shadow of Big Mom erupts from the pile. What? She's getting up!
Interesting little factoid I'd like to present here. Big Mom in this moment is looking a lot like Kurozomi Kanjuro's drawing depiction of that horrible little blob. Just an interesting little choice there.
Okay. No, I got this. Life Oroshiruko. Crap, she's using her soul focus. Oshiruko, we still have some left, right? No, we dumped it, so she's gonna take our lives. Yeah!
And she does. She just takes every single one of their fucking useless lives.
Come to life. Yeah! I'll use 1 year of my own lifespan. 2, I can't rely on the weak souls of this riffraff. No way, Big Mom! She's gotten even bigger! It's been decades since I've felt pain like this. You runs aren't bad. Trafalgar Law, Captain Kidd, the 2 of you and Straw Hat Luffy are serious about taking our thrones.
This is a beautiful, full-page spread here. Big Mom is, I think, making you very happy, Burke, in the horror that she is exuding at the moment.
Yes. This chapter should be known the chapter where she stopped being goofed on.
No more goofing on Big Mom.
Napoleon has the Rinnegan.
I was gonna say Napoleon's had the Rinnegan forever,
but so does Hera.
Oh God, so does Hera, and so does
Prometheus. They've all got the Rinnegan, and her eyes are just straight up souls.
Straight out of Ed, Edd and Eddy, here comes Plank. Times 1,000,000.
She looks like someone you fight in an Onimusha game.
And I think her arms are hockeyed up, if I'm not...
Yeah,
it looks like
that's what it looks like.
She's not fucking around. I fully expect someone, maybe, to die here.
I mean,
Several
especially
already have.
when she starts throwing the gauntlet down like this. Bring it on if you think you have a shot. I'll show you what it means to be an emperor.
I'll need to take down monsters like you if I ever want to uncover the true history.
This is a good thing too, because I remember Alex, you were questioning a while back, like what's after this for?
Yeah,
Law?
what the fuck's up with... Yeah.
And now we know he's got kind of a similar.
Maybe this is why he sought out the Straw Hats as well. Not just because I feel like he kind of like...
He wants to steal Robin.
I wouldn't say he wants to steal Robin, but I think he wants to be a part of whatever crew Robin's...
I want to steal Robin.
And it's probably also connected to.
Just call me CP0 agent.
It's probably also connected to the will of D and the fact that he's a D and Luffy's a D. You know.
I was always interested after Dressrosa his conversation with Sengoku, where he was like, "What does it mean, Sengoku? You must know." And Sengoku was like, ... I don't know anything about that. Dotty dotty dot.
I ain't knowing shit.
And Trafalgar's just like, well, how is he supposed to figure out this whole D thing? It seems like that answer might be at Laugh Tale, right? Gold D Roger, he knew what the D meant, right? Did he know before? I don't think so.
The D stands for dick.
Anyway, we're getting on to Mr. Double D Kid over here. No more holding back! We're going all out! I don't give a damn what it costs! I'm gonna tear her from her throne! Which leads me to believe he might actually die trying to murder the shit out of Big Mom. You know, Kid's always been interesting to me because, yeah, he wants to be the Pirate King and all that, but Luffy's kind of already doing that, so what is Kid up to?
He's the Vegeta to Luffy's Goku.
He is the rival of Luffy.
Or attempted.
Not the Marine rival, though. We were talking about that earlier.
He's the shitty rival.
He's the Whitebeard.
But less shitty... Oh, no. Really? Whitebeard?
He's the Whitebeard to Gold Rogers, you know, or Luffy's Gold Roger.
I feel like... I don't know.
I think we need to think in terms of current generation.
I feel like Shanks.
No.
Okay.
Shanks is old generation.
Well, I'm sorry.
Sorry to shut you down, but I feel like Shanks
He's
is...
not old generation.
Yes, he is.
He's in the same class as Buggy, who's new generation-ish.
No.
They're not.
No.
They're not.
They're
They're
the generation.
not Luffy's generation.
Exactly. They're an older
they're-
generation.
Think of Luffy as the Zoomers.
They're the bridge. They were kids on Roger's ship.
Dude, okay, Luffy and Kid are the Zoomers, and you know,
Don't do this to them.
Buggy is
Don't do this.
Buggy is the millennial.
Okay.
We're all Buggy.
Look, they're
We're all Buggy.
I think they're a weird mix between old gen. They were on old gen ships, but now they have their own ships.
So essentially, they're millennials.
Slightly in front of in a sense, but
They're at the turning point.
I don't like Luffy. Luffy is a Zoomer, actually.
I mean, it's either that or Luffy's a millennial and Shanks is a Gen X.
No,
I can't remember what it
I
is.
put him in millennial.
Okay.
This is a weird tangent.
Anyway,
Either
how'd
way.
she get so freaking huge? We're in hell. The castle's becoming an inferno.
That poor dude doesn't realize he's been in hell till right now. Wasn't there a chapter a while ago like hell?
I mean, sure.
Recently.
I mean, they talk about hell so much in this. I
Alright.
just watched Impel Down with my wife, so you know.
Impel Down with my wife.
My wife.
My wife. She watches Impel Down and doesn't vote. I can say that I'm not married. There's so many grunts out front. I'll have to go through the Iwato Chamber, which the Iwato Chamber is where this shit's going down. Are we considering him good or evil?
Evil.
Okay.
So I'll take care of this.
Iwato Chamber.
Hold up! I said cool it! Are you for real? Scratch! Boom!
I'll repay Straw Hat by finishing you off. I figured out how your attacks work. Thank God you finally caught up, Drake. We figured that shit out fucking 20 chapters ago.
Literally.
At a glance.
It was longer than that.
It was Law and Kid and Luffy. They already got this, bro.
It's Zoro!
But thank you for
Well,
explaining.
actually, to be fair, we did not know previously that it follows his line of sight.
Killer was pretty informative.
But we didn't figure that.
Okay, I'm glad that we had the last 2% of the 98% of Apoo's power here. At a glance, it
Don't be a
seems...
dick.
I know. At a glance, it seems like your techniques strike randomly, but that's not true. They follow your line of sight. Your target just needs to hear you.
You're giving the game away. Whatever, man. I've got 3 numbers backing me up. You're screwed anyway. Check it out.
Boom! There's an explosion. I don't know who says that.
I'm pretty sure that's Apoo. Young Master Yamato!
Ah! Drake! Apoo! Why is one of the Flying Six here with an informant?
Yamato is against Kaido. Trying to win Drake over was a bust. Time to switch gears. Young Master, have I got some news for you? Let's rap!
Not now! I've cut ties with Kaido, so now I'm not on your side.
For real? Then you'll really want to hear this.
Evil numbers?
Fuga.
Okay. Don't get in my way! Wait, Yamato! I've abandoned Kaido too! Really? My bad, Drake. I've got to run off then. As this
Fuga!
Onigashima and the Flower Capital are at stake! And she kind of rushes past. What? Ah!
Fuga, what the hell are you doing? Damn it, I can't miss this chance to get Yamato on board. Fuga, gaga!
Fuga?
Follow me, you two. Ibizagi.
You're not getting away, Apoo. Second floor. We return to Robin and Brooke and CP Aegis. I think it's the Musketeers, right?
Guys.
Run, Baron Corpse! Protect Nico Robin! These adversaries are formidable! You guys! Yo-ho-ho-ho-ho! Hang on, Robin-san! We need to take flight! I recognize them from Dressrosa. Why are they here? Even among the elites of CP0, the mass agents are in a class of their own.
Dadoom, as we see one of them.
Interesting little thing now that we know there's different levels within CP0.
Yeah. Now I wonder where Lucci ranks on them. If these
He's
are the
not
top...
a masked one anymore.
Well, it's interesting because he's telling these guys what to do, but these guys seem to be in the class of their own.
I feel like Lucci's an exception. I feel like he's a class of his own comparatively.
He was in CP9 for sure.
Yes.
But I wonder how he scales with the rest of CP0. Do you guys... I'm going to interject here. Do you guys think that Brooke can handle this shit?
Not in a direct fight.
Agreed.
I think he can potentially get away with her, but I don't think he can win against her.
I'm worried about Robin
This chapter has me worried about a lot of things, and we're actually going to come up on another one of those things. Because this dude right now,
and the fact that only he's the one that disappears, that other guy is doing
he's doing his own
else.
thing. So
what's happening.
Stuff is moving.
Really, really exciting, but also really, really frightening.
It's crazy.
Which
we can cover.
We can get into this.
Discuss
some really frightening shit.
Ramifications of all of this.
Pleasure Hall, Left Brain Tower, Skull Dome. How could you? She's just a young girl. You're with the Rebel Army, aren't you? Yeah, I am, but you've got it wrong. It wasn't me. I couldn't have. Don't play dumb. You were alone with her. Get out. We just want to hide in peace. As they start throwing things at Sanji. Oh, this fucking hurts me. Because, look, I before we even continue, because this is my boy here. I do not want to believe he did shit to this girl.
I don't think he did.
I don't fucking believe that shit.
I think it was left vague for a reason.
I think it... Exactly, Brock. Fucking exactly. I agree with you. And you know why?
What's up, bud?
Because I think this builds tension. This builds doubt in all the Sanji fans.
Yeah.
Because this is his one thing. He won't. Zoro will always know where to go if Booze is on the end of the line. He will always never know where to go if he doesn't have a person with him. Right? These are things that will never change. Yeah. Sanji's thing is that he does not hit women. Yep. He over simps on them. He does not hit them. Yeah. You want to say something, Burke? No. Okay, good. Sorry, I'm just on the Sanji rant here and I don't want to be interrupted. I am horrified at the fact that even in a slight moment of emotion loss, he could do the one thing his character has never... He has been beaten the shit out of, guys, by women. Simply because he cannot breach that chivalry. And you're telling me in a lapse of... No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Something's gonna... But if it does come out that he actually... There's gonna be a dark Sanji arc. Not an arc like Wano, but there's gonna be some chapters where there's just Sanji doing some dark ass shit. And I'm concerned.
I don't know.
I am concerned.
I don't know if you've seen that.
There have been, especially on Reddit recently, there have just been a lot of memes of just, and this applies to all the different fandoms, but it's like evil so and so, like, and it's like the exact opposite. And I saw one that maybe I almost sent it to you because it's like evil Sanji be like, I don't hit women, because now our good Sanji may have mistakenly hit a woman. So now evil Sanji, opposite of that, would be like, I don't know.
Look, Whole Cake was an entire arc for Sanji.
Look, all I gotta say, to interrupt you really quick that, thank God Sanji's going through this, because a lot of people might have felt like Sanji peaked in Whole Cake. Like,
I think a lot of people...
Character-wise, not fight-wise, character-wise.
I think people thought that Whole Cake was going to be the end of Germa. And that they weren't going to pop up again. And the fact that they are, I don't hate it at all. I don't. Because this has serious ramifications on who Sanji is as a character. Like, it's literally the history he withheld until the New World, right? One time mentioned he's from the North Blue. Or, one time in Skypiea.
One goat of an informant who forgot to take the lens cap off of his camera. He kept us in the dark.
And it's very clear why.
Go ahead, Brock.
I could see... The woman looks like she's in too much pain to say anything, but I can see her coming to her senses later and revealing the truth of what happened, which is probably that Sanji didn't do anything to her.
I don't know what happened then.
Because, like I said...
That's the other thing that perplexes me, what did happen. Because no one else is there, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, it just says so much by leaving it like, you were alone with her, but we didn't explicitly see you hit her.
It is interesting she doesn't say anything. It is interesting. Because she's in so much pain from something. And I highly doubt it was on. But the doubt that it's
Kanjuro in disguise again. I'm calling it right now. Because Kanjuro will draw everything but his last breath.
I don't have words to express how much I hate you for saying that. But I also don't blame you for that.
Come on.
I blame that on Kanjuro himself. Look,
anyway.
as a Sanji fan, this is necessary, horrifying, especially if there's a break. Not confirmed. And I don't want to be left on this. I need a chapter next week to fix or show.
As we go along, it also creates one of the coolest moments between two members that we've seen to date.
So, let's go ahead and we will discuss more.
Okay, I'm going to get this on. Said,
this isn't right.
This isn't right. Harming a lady is the one thing I'd never do. You beat her till she lost consciousness. Your sadism is disgusting. Flashing back to Whole Cake when his brothers beat up the chef that prepared their meal. Everything about you goes against what I stand for.
Hey, you're back! Where'd you run off to? Didn't you get the memo, you germ adult? The pleasure hall is closed!
That tingling sensation stopped. Is the transformation over? And I love how he's facing down a literal left hand of Kaido right now, and he's just in his fucking head. Jesus. I remember being lost in thought then. Kya, I'm sorry. I'm just a geisha from the flower capital. Kaido's men brought me here, but I'm not with them. Please don't hurt me. The next thing I knew, she was on the floor, bleeding. I don't like that dark Sanji look, bro. I do like it. It's a cool-ass look, but I don't like what the implication is. She had a terrified look in her eyes.
I love this. I love that his next thought after himself is Luffy.
Yeah.
Hey, Luffy, which version of me do you want around? My human side has always made me useless against female enemies.
As Queen prepares to attack.
But as a soldier of science, I'd be able to coldly execute anyone you ordered me to. Even a beast like this would be easy to dismember. Ooh! I love this. I really fucking do. I hate this, but I love this. It's so weird. Oda, you're such a master of fucking dialogue. What kind of person does the Pirate King need by his side? I've made up my mind. I'm not sure I know the answer, but...
Ooh, you're finally breaking out the Germa suit?
My dormant augmented abilities were awakened by wearing this damn thing. Throws the raid suit on the ground, but it doesn't matter at this point. And steps on it and explodes it! I'm not gonna lose any more of myself. I'll never belong to Germa. Just this huge explosion at his feet as the raid suit is destroyed.
Gah! What a waste. I wanted to see him morph.
As did a lot of us, but, I like this more.
Just for... I'll take our boy. My boy, rather.
Farewell, Germa. Farewell, women's baths. I'll end this fight my own way.
As we cut to outside the dome, Zoro versus King.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Huh? Where'd this transponder snail come from?
I slipped into your haramaki just in case you got lost and wound up facing death in a corner somewhere.
What do you want, you dumb cook? You're distracting me.
I'll just be quick. Just listen. We're going to beat the beast pirates.
Well, obviously.
After the dust settles, if I'm no longer myself, I want you to put me down.
What? Not sure if I get it, but fine. If it comes to that, I'll make it swift. Now I've got something to look forward to. So that means you better not die before then.
Thanks.
Gotcha.
And then Sanji vanishes in an instant.
How did you disappear again? Is this thanks to Judge's experiments, Germa brat?
Stop stoking the fire! I'm already white hot. Hell memories! And he just beats the literal shit out of fucking Queen. Oh, it's so sick. And then that is the end of 1031. Fuck, bro. And the return of Hell Memories. We haven't seen that attack since fucking Fishman Island. Dude, and bro.
I mean, what a return of Hell Memories. Because obviously the last
he's
time...
remembering his fucking family. That's why it's
the last time we had it there was obviously his memories of the Kamabaka Kingdom.
Yeah.
But now it's of his
family. Yeah, and Germa and everything they stand for and how he will not be like them. Oh, God, I fucking love Sanji, bro. I fucking love Sanji.
I mean, I'm sure the viewers at home can tell.
I'm sure. I do not hold it back. But, no, that is 1031, and there is no indication...
There's no indication of a break, but I could have sworn I saw somewhere else on Reddit.
I'm begging for not a break.
I will double-check with you personally on the official release, what date we're going to get our next chapter, and obviously that'll be 2 days before.
Okay. There's a lot of really interesting things in this chapter I want to talk about. I'm going to start with this one. Burke, I'm going to show you some photos that I have compiled. Obviously, the viewers can't see this.
Please don't show me your penis.
You're going to see my penis. No, I'm kidding.
Please don't show me Sanji's penis.
I have compiled some photos, and I'm going to have these on the screen when we actually talk about this.
Sounds good.
So I want you to look at this image, and then I want you to go one over. Okay? You remember those guys?
Oh, yeah. No, I actually meant to bring this up.
I'll show you Brock, too.
Because I actually saw this on...
Okay, don't say anything, because I'm going to show Brock now.
I'm just going to say I saw this on Roger's basis review of that chapter.
I saw this on... I saw this multiple places, but I also was like, huh. So, start here, right?
And then go to the left, Brock.
Yeah, so
he didn't indicate to the left.
Was it the wrong way?
I went right instead.
Okay.
No biggie.
So just look at those. Just look at those images. You'll see what I'm saying. So, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about the top 3 numbers. Ibi, Zangi, and Fuga, right?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. They look eerily fucking similar to the 3 samurai that were
in the cave
with Yamato. And because we never saw what happened to them, I think there's a pretty interesting connection between those 3 dudes and these 3 dudes. Brock, thoughts, opinions?
Well, I mean...
Burke's obviously already heard of this, so from an outsider's perspective.
I would say it makes sense, but also it would make sense that... I don't know, the fact that we just saw them and Yamato in the same room would definitely add to the coincidence or lack thereof.
Right. And this is another interesting thing. Fuga seems to recognize Yamato in those panels.
Like immediately.
And goes after her, right?
Yeah.
Now
and
the other 2...
assume to attack.
Right.
But maybe in her admitting that she is currently trying to fight Kaido, maybe Fuga, who at this point I think is the one we would assume correlates to Ushimaru, Zoro daddy looking motherfucker.
Huh.
Maybe he's coming with her to help. and not attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean,
Possibly.
clearly, Fuga is not listening to Apoo in this moment, and Apoo's like, the fuck? Wait, hello? What? Hello? And he's like, the other two follow me. They seem very confused too. I'm really curious, bro, if all these numbers are just some, like, science experimented on, like...
Right/wrong?
Yeah, it doesn't matter which. Some shit happened to those samurai, and they're not dead, but they've been turned into these mindless numbers who can only say their fucking name like Pokemon, and are just incredibly powerful.
I can see that.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
No, yeah, valid.
They look eerily similar.
I'm glad you showed me the pictures because I only heard about it. I didn't actually go and look at the comparison.
Because I didn't want to pull it up like in the chapter because it is rough. So I took photos beforehand. I was like, this is interesting. This is interesting. So let us know in the comments, bro, if you're on this whole like theory or not. Yeah, but that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Apoo got denied. He's gonna keep getting denied. I don't know who beats the shit out of Apoo.
I mean, that's my one thing from, like, obviously you heard me complain about it last chapter, because I hate Apoo. Yeah. He's my least favorite supernova. I'm sure he could do some cool things, and I might be impressed with him at some point down the line. But of all the people for him to approach with a offer, I was just like, really? Don't approach Drake.
Now you're approaching Yamato.
Especially because I was like, Drake, come on, you're gonna like possibly backstab Luffy after this. Like, literally when he said the words, I'm gonna repay Straw Hat by taking you out. So, sorry, I'm not doing this. Like, that's my thing, is like, Drake at least reminds me of Smoker in, like, he's kind of honor bound on some things, where, like, Luffy helping Smoker in the past has made Smoker at least, like, go lenient on Luffy a bit or help him out with another issue until such a time that he feels his debt is repaid. And I feel like Draco's Luffy to not fuck with that. So I was very happy about his response. Yamato crashing through was a very fun thing for that. Because, like, obviously both these parties have no idea that at this point Yamato has betrayed Kaido, because Yamato's been kind of all over the fucking place.
Honestly, Yamato gives me a vibe of a female Luffy.
Yeah, no, straight up in that moment, she's just kind of like, oh, I believe you immediately.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't, well, and also on top of that, she just doesn't have time.
And well,
she doesn't have time to really think about the facts of the matter.
Luffy was abused by his grandpa, Yamato was abused by Kaido, the cycle continues.
You were going to say more, Brock?
I can't remember. That kind of threw me through a loop there.
Sorry. I mean, if you think about it, though.
Just Yamato acting like Luffy, though.
Yeah, no, and also, but she also just generally seems to be that straightforward and in some cases simple. Maybe not to the extent that Luffy is, but she's definitely the closest female equivalent to Luffy I think we've gotten.
And all of this to say, I feel like that points more to her, like, in case it wasn't obvious to a lot of people, I feel like she's going to be a member of the Straw Hats, and I feel like, and there's no one-to-one comparisons constantly between each of the generations here, but I feel like if we can compare Roger's crew to Luffy's crew, I feel like she's just destined to be Oden again, excuse me. And those personalities, Oden and Roger, were very similar, and just their zeal for life, for exploring things, for finding things, for just experiencing this beautiful world that they're a part of, this beautiful and terrifying world that they're a part of. And Yamato definitely is very much like Luffy, and very much like the namesake she desires to exude.
Yeah. Yes.
It's kind of interesting, the inverse here, with Zoro fighting a flaming enemy and Sanji being a flaming enemy against Queen. I think there's a really fun parallel there. Is King shooting guns at Zoro?
He's an all-out fighter. He's a brawler.
Where are these guns coming from?
He's wearing a gimp suit.
He's got pockets for days, bro.
He's a pterodactyl.
See all those chains?
All I'm saying is chains.
I don't know.
He has chains?
He's got a lot of bedazzle on him.
He's got a lot of fire on him, and then he's just peppering Zoro, which he's like knocking bullets away. I think it's bullets. Again, animation team, do your work, man. This is gonna look sick.
Okay.
Elephant in the room. Unless you have something before the elephant.
Say what you're about to say.
Okay, Zoro v Sanji. Is it gonna happen at the end of Wano?
No.
I don't think so.
You think Sanji's done getting powers, he won't lose his emotions, and Zoro won't have to chop him down?
Ultimately, if Sanji did hurt that woman, he's going to have it resolved, or something's going to come to light that makes him feel better about it, or she will say something that'll make him feel better about it. I don't know. But I'm leaning more towards he didn't actually hit this woman, and it's just a big misunderstanding.
Of course.
And of course, it just so happened to happen while he's having this whole mental breakdown.
Blackout moment, and like, fine, then not fine.
I mean, honestly, I'm of the opinion that he's not even losing his emotions.
No.
I think he's past that danger, in my opinion.
I
have no reason behind this, but I just feel like...
Is it more, and is this going to happen or not? Is it more interesting if he loses his emotions to defeat Queen, and that's a power-up, in a sense, that then has to be corrected, or if he gets all the other abilities of Germa while retaining his emotions and beats Queen, and this plot point never comes back
Well, I
up?
think that's something that should be asked of you and Sanji fans, because to me, as an outlooker... You know, that just sounds like the Sanji that fans don't want to be cool is being the one who's winning. Because this is the one that's emotionless. He doesn't respect women the way that normal Sanji does.
Can you repeat that for me? Can you word it differently? Because I was totally not following what you said there.
So essentially, the quick question to ask,
to Alex and his Sanji fans,
to Alex and Sanji fans, I think that's more of a question. Is to me, looking outward. Looking inward from what you know what I mean, as a non-Sanji fan, looking into it, I feel like if I were a major Sanji fan, I would hate to see the hero that I've grown to love win as someone I don't know and don't.
I mean, for sure.
You know, so personally, I think it would be better if you won, because that's the Straw Hat way is they win, you know, and it's always like a hopeful winning end. You know, the only time that hasn't necessarily happened is when Chopper transformed into the monster the first time, but that was necessary.
Right.
And ultimately he gained control of it to the betterment of himself.
Yeah.
Because speaking as a Zoro fan, if all of a sudden Zoro just discards all of his swords and just becomes a straight up brawler, which for some reason is more powerful than he was with his swords, I wouldn't like that.
All of his attacks are no sword style type deals.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't be Zoro anymore.
I think that would be stupid.
Right.
Because Zoro's whole character arc...
It's weird with Sanji in this instance because he's still fighting the exact same way. The thing we're losing isn't his combat abilities. Mm-hmm. It's the thing he cares about, which in a fight, you don't generally care about your opponent's well-being at all anyway. Take Pika when Zoro murdered the shit. He didn't kill him, obviously. But, he decimated
he destroyed him, yeah.
Sanji fans, and this is just my opinion as a Sanji fan, I feel like we always want Sanji to be on that cool, dynamic level that Zoro reaches every single time he gets a fight. We always win in, fun ways, sometimes pretty cool ways, but he's never, the cool standard that Zoro is. So to see a Sanji cool standard Zoro win without emotions, I'm okay with it once if it's necessary, as long as there's something that resolves it and reverts him back to the guy I know.
So here's the thing, is with Sanji, he has... This is what I personally think makes it better, is that he's overdramatic in the best way.
No, absolutely.
And he wins in overdramatically awesome ways. Yep. And that's who his character is. And he isn't, he can be cool, so to speak. He walks, when he beat Jabra, he walks away with a really cool line, Devil made the spices, looks like it was too hot for you, but he's also a lot more emotive than Zoro. He has a lot more in terms of what he believes in, so he has a lot more reasons to act out, in the ways he does. Zoro is very much it's not so much that he doesn't want to act that way. It's more like he doesn't care to. He's like, this is my focus. This is how I live.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all, you know. Yeah. And that's Zoro and that's Sanji. And I think there's really no point in Sanji having that kind of win because then, like I said, I think Sanji's had plenty of cool wins. You know, I think there'd be no point in it being a Zoro win. You know, like I said, the Jabra one, that was plenty fucking cool. That was like, he beat the guy and he walked away smoking a cig. That's snazzy as shit.
Zoro's never had a Fishman Island fuck up like Sanji has, you would say.
So,
you're just talking about him being the nosebleed thing, right?
Yeah. So here's
look, Zoro, in my opinion, I don't think Oda will ever draw him down to that. Now, he'll get stuck in a fucking chimney.
Yeah, of course.
But
he'll get lost.
But so will Luffy, right? Mm-hmm. Right?
I think, so here's my thing, is I think Zoro, and we see it in the opening panel, he's kind of being held to the standard of second in command, along with people like Rayleigh.
No, of course.
And, all those guys. And, like, you see real quick, Burke.
No, you're good.
You see a similarity there, a theme there. Mm. You know, generally the second commands are the guys who have to be the ones who make the hard decisions. The ones who say, if you let Usopp back on here, I'm going to leave the crew.
Sure.
You know, Sanji's not that guy. He's the guy who's like, he'll agree with it. He'll agree with it, but he's not going to be the one to make that decision because he's not the advisor, so to speak. He's there to help the pirate king get where he's to go. And that's just...
But does that role need emotions? Right. Get to your point, though, Burke. I want to hear
2 points. One in favor, one against what you just said, Brock.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, like you just said, Zoro is the one who at least helps make Luffy enforce and or just make the decisions that are absolutely fucking necessary.
Yeah.
What happened with Usopp was necessary.
Yeah.
Because truly, Usopp was so flippant about how easily he was willing to leave the crew back in Water 7.
Yeah.
And so, as much as even Zoro himself, this one always makes me cry because even Zoro himself was willing to let a little bit of his stubbornness go because he said if the first word out of Usopp's mouth isn't "I'm sorry," we leave him behind. And of course we know that the first words out of Usopp's mouth were not "I'm sorry."
Wasn't the first 10.
It wasn't even the first 10. They just kept on pretending they didn't hear it until he finally said it.
Yeah.
So even then, Zoro's at least willing to make moments for people like Usopp.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, Sanji's willing to do that kind of stuff too, because he was the one in the argument with Usopp who kicked Luffy in the face and said, "Don't you dare say something you're going to regret." Mm-hmm. Because he had lived through that kind of experience with Zeph.
What I mean more is that
they're both wings.
Sanji doesn't make those decisions. He's the guy, he helps keep things in line. He enforces. But he's not the guy who's going to... He wouldn't have done what Zoro did. He was like, I will leave the crew.
I agree with you, and obviously so does Oda. By the color spread we get, we got shown who the second in commands are. And I think that's always been the stupid thing with the Zoro-Sanji debate is who's
more important.
Who's more important? Technically Zoro, but they're both... They have their reasons for why they're both absolutely important. And
absolutely necessary.
Absolutely necessary. Because, I mean, look at Whole Cake. The whole thing with Whole Cake, we have that powerful scene where Luffy is calling after Sanji. Without you, if you don't come back, I can't be the Pirate King.
Yeah.
Luffy puts just as much emphasis on Sanji's role as we do on Zoro.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I have to say I also love this chapter, and rewatching it with my wife, like the fight that we always get into of who's stronger, and it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
It doesn't matter. Because ultimately, as much as these two give each other shit, I believe that deep down, Zoro is like us to Alex. Like, literally, we are Zoro to Alex, where we are just constantly shitting on him, but deep down, it comes from this place of we care about you, we love you, we agree that, like, we may not love you, Like, obviously, Zoro has some...
You can love your friends, but... Yeah, anyway.
Zoro has weird ways of
It's an unspoken love.
It's non-spoken.
He's tsundere.
They're
a complete tsundere.
They're Nakama at the end of the day, whether they say it or not.
But that's why, like, even though he's like, I don't know what's going on, I don't get it, but hey, at least I have something to look forward to. I don't even think that comes from a malicious place.
No, not at all.
I literally think that is just a, hey, if that's what you want from me, more power to me.
Well, honestly, it's not even that, too. I think it's more like he's still treating Sanji like Sanji. It's more of a like, I don't know what your deal is, but fine, I got looking forward to find out what the deal is up with you. I don't think he thinks he's...
No.
I don't think he believes... He might be prepared to do it, but I don't think he believes Sanji's going to have to die at the end of this. No. And also the fact that Sanji said thanks to Zoro for like the first time. I was like, oh my god.
At least in a long time. I can't remember any time recently.
Like that just shows how serious the situation is to him.
I think regardless, this bit of this chapter is setting up a really big moment between both of them before Wano ends. And whether that's a fight, whether that's a conversation, whether that's just like a battle of philosophy. They constantly do it through bickering.
Yeah.
But do we ever really get the wings, beating at that same beat and having that conversation? I think that's ultimately what gets Luffy to soar away from Wano.
We didn't get quite that in depth. We kind of got that feel back when Zoro took Luffy's pain.
Right.
Because they were literally beating each other up to not let the other one potentially die.
And that's what I'm looking forward to too. Is that moment with Zoro, right? I don't know if Sanji has ever take my life, not his. I would like a moment like that too. I'm not saying it's necessary, and I think that can just be Zoro's moment, but something of the same scale.
So wait, you're referring back to Kuma.
Yes. So where Zoro ultimately had enough power to knock down Sanji and take that pain. I would like to see the inverse of that in some shape or form, not exact situation.
Sanji
obviously.
Knocks down Zoro and takes
puts his
blow
in front for Luffy, right? Okay. And there might be some kind of something you could compare, but like that is the moment. Nothing happened. We know that moment.
So just because I recently watched a video essay on that moment, the nothing happened moment. Not to say that it would be great for Sanji if he...
I don't need it, but yeah, go off.
But I think that ultimately that whole thing was mostly for Zoro's benefit and growth as a 100%. Character. Like, absolutely, because before that moment, Zoro literally thought it would be better to die than not achieve his ambition. That was the only thing before that moment that we'd ever seen him willing to put his life away for. If I can't have my ambition, then I might as well just die.
Yeah. And if anybody, even Luffy, gets in the way of my ambition, I'll cut you down.
I'll cut you down. But in that moment, he said, his whole spiel, I would paraphrase it so horribly at this point, but you get it, where all of a sudden Luffy's dream is now above his dream.
Yeah. They get
Hawkeye said it best. Or Mihawk, sorry. No, it's Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, Mihawk. Dracul. Whatever.
Dracul.
Anyway.
I mean, look, Oda didn't have to draw that scene with Sanji also trying to take the pain, right? He didn't have to do that at all.
No,
he could have just had Zoro do that.
Had Zoro.
So early on, but he wanted Zoro to have that moment.
Well,
ultimately,
not only that, but then he wanted Sanji to respect that moment, because then you've got the people who are with Lola who saw the whole thing, and they're like, we want to tell everyone, and Sanji just says, you will do no such thing.
He and Robin, yeah. Because Robin also saw it.
Well, and also I think it was important to establish the fact that those two were Nakama. They didn't actually hate each other, and they were willing to stop each other from dying. Right. Like, you saw how worried Sanji was when he woke up.
Oh,
yep.
So it's not. So I think that was another important point, was to establish where the relationship was at. Like, yeah, we fight a lot, but
they have a Smash Bros. Rivalry,
literally.
Yeah. It's also interesting, that last panel with both Zoro and Sanji's face, where you're only seeing one of Zoro's eyes and one of Sanji's. This one here, and it's full on one eye, half on one eye. He's such a brilliant fucking guy. Oda is with his art. There's tiny things you can notice everywhere, but. No, at the end of the day, I don't know what moment this is building to, but I'm really fucking excited.
It's gotta be important.
I mean, that's the one thing. Like, obviously, I get why you're like. I really hope there isn't a break next
I'm in
week.
turmoil.
I mean,
want this resolved.
At this point, I just always wish that there was never breaks. But
this
know
is
that,
you when Kanemon got stabbed. I'm you when Kanemon got stabbed. You needed
Really?
something happier.
Are you really that low?
I'm not low as much as I'm like.
Because when Kanemon
need...
got stabbed, I was just at my lowest of lows. I'm just like, I need some good to happen in Onigashima.
I need this resolved.
I think this is because it's focusing on one of his main dudes.
Yeah.
I don't feel tension with Straw Hats ever because, like, they're the heroes of the story. They're going to be fine, right? But losing your emotions, that's not death. And in my opinion, for Sanji, that's worse than death.
And potentially...
And it really fucking is, considering Germa and everything that he stands for, and he stands against them and becoming... Like, it's not a small deal.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Oda's addressing it because we'll get a final answer on it. This Wano will be, I think, the ending of this whole Germa thing. Destroying the suit. I really like the fucking suit. I hate Germa.
I really liked the suit.
But I really like the fucking suit. So I don't know what's going to happen there if... I feel like maybe...
But at the same time, it also means that
You know what would be great?
he has to go back to his shenanigans of, like, not being able to simply just enter a bath and watch naked women.
That's okay. That's fine.
Well, maybe.
I didn't need it for that.
I don't know if...
Again...
The way he disappeared
He's saying...
earlier...
He's saying...
I'm hoping that was
He's saying goodbye, in a sense, because he doesn't know at the end of this fight if he's going to have his emotions or not.
He doesn't know whether Zoro's going to...
I love the confidence that he can dismember this guy either way.
Sorry. I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts recently. He's basically Riku when he fought Roxas.
You know what? And also, it's really interesting, too, because that just also shows his faith in Zoro's skill when he asked him to put him down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think he'd ask many people to do that.
I mean, just the trust, the faith.
Well, most probably wouldn't be able to take down a fully emotionless, full-powered Sanji.
Yeah.
That can regenerate and break fucking
Honestly,
subordinate swords.
Honestly, Zoro and Luffy are probably the only ones in the crew that can do that.
Again, I would be hyped for that fight as long as it had a nice conclusion. I don't want that fight in truth because I just like the bickering and that's perfectly fine. But it would settle some debates in the fucking community. I
don't need that debate settled.
I know I don't either. And I think they won't.
It's fun to speculate, but if we ever got a concrete answer, I just...
But please tell me you weren't hyped when Zoro and fucking Luffy fought because Luffy was fat and Zoro was drunk on fucking whiskey.
That was a joke fight.
That was fun shit, though.
It was fun, but it was a joke fight.
Okay, here's my thing with that. It was funny at the time.
Yeah.
Every time I've come back to that fight, I honestly hate it.
I love the miscommunication.
I hate it every time.
They're both so
because
strong.
That is the only time that Luffy has ever just like 100% mistrusted Zoro's intentions. Any other time, Luffy would not have even been questioning why his crewmates would have attacked somebody. It's the one time where I'm just like, that's not consistent.
It gets resolved.
It's funny.
Really quick.
It gets resolved quick. I don't like it. That's my thought.
I would say back then Luffy wasn't above putting blame when there's no proof there, and I also think Luffy knew Zoro could take a beating as well. I don't think it was out of place because Luffy he's passed blame before. He's like, why did you do that? I didn't do anything.
In Luffy's eyes, these were completely innocent people who just threw them a party, and they're all slashed up. He's like, you fucking clearly did this as you're still slashing them up. Like, I understand the miscommunication.
Yeah, I mean,
he was fucking disillusioned. He was fat as fuck.
I'm just saying, as a character consistency, I feel like in that moment, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, Zoro doesn't...
It did up to that point because he was still learning.
Zoro, he didn't know if Zoro killed innocents or not.
We're not talking about like Whiskey Peak.
But how it all connects back is, would I want a scuffle to knock some sense into Sanji? That'd be fine.
I'd be down with a scuffle. I wouldn't.
I don't think it'd be a full fight. I think it'd be sick if I get more moments like this Sanji panel here. Stop stroking the fire. I'm already white hot. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay with some fucking Sanji art like that. But ultimately, no. I want them to be Nakam at the end of the day and to just support our fucking Pirate King. That's what I want. Okay. And this, I need resolved. So my prediction for 1032 is we come right back to Sanji and Nico Robin. CP0 shit. That's what
I agree with you on Robin. I don't agree with you on Sanji.
You let me have it.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh.
I have a bad feeling Oda's gonna leave us hanging on the Sanji thing.
Oh, Oda, help me. At least resolve the woman. Have her like say a line where it's like,
Maybe
he didn't do anything.
You know, I'm going to say this for every chapter until it happens. I think we're finally gonna, and this isn't. There's no. This is coming from a place of like nothingness. There's no belief here. It's just like
You're just manifesting it.
They're gonna finish the Fukurokuju fight.
Oh yeah.
What fight?
The Fukurokuju.
Who's that? You know what I mean? It's been that long.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely has.
It's been that long, and it's still going for some reason. Again, Fukurokuju is the only reason that Orochi doesn't get to escape. So I'm okay with that fight being kept up, because that means Orochi's still here. We can still fucking
Yeah, but
murder
then
his
maybe
ass.
your boy comes and kills Orochi finally.
I think it's Kirishiro. Oh yeah.
That's what I
We've
just
been
said.
talking about my boy for Sanji for a bit.
No,
so
but
excuse
Kirishiro.
Yeah,
Your boy snapping Kirishiro.
I would love that. I need something.
Yeah,
From Kirishiro.
I agree with your prediction of Robin next chapter.
I'm scared for Brooke.
I'm scared for both of them.
I'm scared that Brooke will be defeated. Actually, Brooke really hasn't had a solid fight this arc. Like a 1v1.
He did stand up to Big Mom.
He's been doing a lot of support stuff.
Whole cake. Wano?
No, in Whole Cake.
Oh.
That was a very
Wano.
cool moment.
I'm saying Wano, he hasn't had a fight.
No, not truly. So
This could be his fight, which is the only reason I'd give him some.
No, I was just
credence.
saying in credence to maybe he does stand his ground. He did go toe to toe with Yonko and didn't get destroyed completely.
Afro should have totally burned, but anime,
Anime. I mean,
Afro also
the
survived.
Sunny should have been destroyed 1,000,000 times over, but anime also protagonist.
Adam would, you mean?
Yeah, Adam would. What are you talking about?
Adam, and you have to remember, Burke, they did burn the sails a little bit.
And destroyed some of the railing in the fight with fucking Duval back before Sabati.
Oh, you're right about that. Fucking Frankie builds staircases out of nothing.
I know.
Anime.
I'm just making fun of the fact that there's a lot of things that should either stay or be clearly scarred in some way, shape,
Some
or
very
form.
pretty color spreads here.
But no,
at the end.
color spreads are great.
Absolutely wonderful. God,
I agree with Brock. I really just need Fukurokuju fight to be done, and I would love it if we see what Kirishiro is up to.
I want Kia. He's my favorite, man.
I know.
I love that dude. Is that who's your favorite Scabbard? I know I've asked this before. Is it changed? Probably still Kinemon? No.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's Kinemon.
Now you're just pissed at Kinemon. No, I know.
So,
that's a whole tangent.
not to throw any shade at fellow YouTubers, but so watching Roger's reaction to last chapter, I was like totally on board with all of his reactions up to a point, but then he kind of slipped up. He at least corrected later in his review, but he forgot about how Kaido had stabbed him through, because he was like, wait a minute, I swear to God he got bashed over the head with a club. Why is he split in two?
That also happened.
And I was just like screaming through my computer screen, Roger, no, he did at least.
That's why you have to pay $5 to let him know on Twitch.
No, I know.
You're very wrong about this. Here's $5.
No, and I'm not going to be like that. But a lot of what he had to say, I at least agreed with. Ultimately, I've come back around more to just like, it's Oda's story.
No.
Death isn't always a permanent thing, and I just...
When it is, but most of the time it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favorite Scabbard right now... I would probably say Kawamatsu.
I fucking love it. Watching him in the anime has made him easily my second favorite.
Second after that is Kiku.
Kiku's
Then Kinemon.
It's just a shame about that arm.
Yeah. Hence why I
Join the club.
I like Kawamatsu, because, not an armless
Not
freak anymore.
I fucking love that dude.
Anyway.
Fun. Brock? Final thoughts? Predictions? Oh, you already said.
I think you
Predictions.
just said...
Final thoughts?
I do think we'll see more of the CBA's deal. We have to. We got to.
Eventually we will, even
it's
if
in
it's
our
not
brain.
1032.
I wonder if they have devil fruits. That's what I want to know.
Maybe a look at Zoro's side after that weird call from Sanji.
Could be.
It would be. It'd be nice to have some internal monologue for what Zoro's thinking, because he can say whatever he wants, but what's going on in his head?
Because that has been kind of a pattern where the corresponding fights have been kind of side by side, chapter after chapter.
Yeah. I would imagine if we beat King, we also beat Queen in the same.
Yeah, or at least...
I think it would be a chapter
I
of
bet if
finishing those
they
fights.
aren't in the same chapter, it's Queen first, then King.
Yeah. Because Jack's dead already. Like, we don't care about Jack at all.
Well, he's not dead.
Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead to Alex. Come on now.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
dead.
there's only 2 people that are confirmed dead.
Okay. They are dead. It's too bad I told his hair.
Like I said, Oda didn't show the bodies.
1031, Soldier of Science, but not. It says. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. Hopefully only one for chapter 10. All right, listeners, that concludes this episode of the Yonko Podcast. Oh, Sanji, that was tough. I am genuinely scared for what may happen next. With Big Mom looming stronger than ever and both of Luffy's commanders tied up with their own obstacles, where will the raid on Onigashima head next? With that, see you all next time on the Yonko Podcast, chapter review 1032. No break, and another week without crippling depression. Thanks, Oda. All right, boys, we're off.